Hi. So this is my Grapes of Wrath comparison for you, Professor Ogden. So I'm gonna first start off with like a little disclaimer or I know why they do things. Well, the thing about the play is they try forcing a giant book into a 2-hour play. So I know, of course, there will be a lot of aspects of the book that they would not include inside the play itself. So a lot of the character development was rushed, and a lot of like little itsy bitsy thematical scenes were not displayed in the play. So I'm fully aware of that, and but but these are the things I really focus more on: the character development and the thematic portrayal. So one because those are the things that stand out to me the most. So one main difference was the beginning of the play. In the novel, the book starts off with a really descriptive scenery, so descriptive that I didn't want to read it, but I still did it anyway, and I gouged my eyes out doing it. The novel describes everything in Oklahoma setting, from the wind, the way the wind blew, the color of the sky, to like everyone living in the area. So what I felt was the play did not really emphasize that too much. Instead, they had some like little um, performance from a band, but then later on they do sort of brush up on this little scene by having by showing the setting of the novel as well in the play. Another one is the thing that stands out the most, because I kind of looked at it from a Marxist point of view, was the car scene sale, where the guy where the car dealer was trying to rip off um, rip off the poor farmers who are trying to migrate. What what the reason why I chose that, because I mean it really set the tone for the whole it set the context for the whole novel. And so in here, the car salesman is trying to con some innocent man who's desperate for a car to to pay extra for like a car that's crap. And so it shows how this corruption lives on so many levels, from the banks to the people running the farm, to even car dealership. And so the Marxist analysis comes in when the commodity are the cars, and the people who are the people who are trying to buy it are the proletariats, and the bourgeoisie are the people selling it, because the proletariat are dependent on the bourgeoisie here to for a living and for a livelihood. So and just how the bourgeoisie takes advantage of proletariats and their desperation, the car dealer guy takes advantage of how desperate the farmers are. And yeah, so moving on, some characters I'd like to point out was from the novel. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna go through everything on my comparison, but some of the ones I like to point out was like probably Uncle John. Uncle John is a character with a really dark past. And his wife died because he was too stubborn to take her to a doctor. So she died as a result of stubbornness. And so we get this little like dark backstory from about Uncle John in the novel, which we don't see in the play. In the play, he's a joke. All he does is just walk around acting like an idiot and like drown his sorrow away in alcohol. But then and that really makes him different from the one in the novel, because in the play we don't see why he is trouble. He just goes off and find any excuse he can to get drunk. Whereas in the novel, he does so because he's in pain. Like, this guy lost his wife because of how like what a jerk he was. And so so the book did not so the play did not really address how like the regret and guilt, did not really portray that in Uncle John. And another one is another character that was sort of more like a joke was Al Jolde in the play. Al Jolde, Al he was yeah he all he did like he they did brush on upon the fact that he was a mechanic. He is a mechanic, but that's all. Like, he fixed the car once, and that was it. Like, the car broke down like many times, and they didn't really use his technical skills as they did in the book as much. And so all Al had going for him in the play was that he's a teenage boy with raging hormones, and he just chased every skirt he can come across. And that was a really big difference. I mean, it wasn't a difference in that, like, and how horny he was, because it was pretty horny in the book as well. But the fact that they did not include that he has a mechanical side to him, and that he was more helpful to the Jode family than the play gave him credit for. That really made the difference between the play out and novel out. And let's see, one more. One okay. One I'll end it with a very significant character in the book, in the novel, Rose of Sharon. She is probably everyone's most hated character because of how much of a brat she was, how selfish, and yeah, she was a brat. She was like she wanted to be treated like a princess, and she had all this like little like fantasies and stuff, and so it was pretty silly of her. So what but the thing about but difference though in the book, we see a gradual change, especially after her baby dies. We see a gradual change in her character, and we begin to see that she grows, matures throughout the book, and but then she doesn't really do much in the in the play itself. What happens in the play is that she wait what she does is that we only see this sorry, that was my mom. We only see this character change towards the end when like she breastfeeds, and for me that was really abrupt. I did not see that coming, and I'm sure it was really symbolic and all, but then it was just really abrupt. And then I mean, I still imagine her as like an immature child, but in the novel I see her more mature because I see that steady progression. And yeah, like I mean, they in the novel they do it does a better job um, maturing her and helping her become a more selfless person, whereas the play just really rushed through it. I mean, yeah, like, but then again, this play was 2 hours long, and so there was really not much they can do to like bolster the character development of the characters, and so I feel like they focus mainly on Tom. So I mean, it was a good play, and I learned a lot, and I got to see a lot of I saw like a lot of interpretations of how the book could have went, and it was pretty interesting. But these stark similarities are still there. These stark differences are still there, and yeah, that's my comparison presentation for you. Stay tuned for the media timeline thing. Thank you.